So we're going to be working today with the red helium file. I believe it is, let me check, 8K file. We're working with an 8K. And before we start, I want to say special thank you to Raw Film for making this tutorial possible and providing me access to their amazing stock footage. If you guys want to follow along, make sure to check out link in the description below. Visit their website. They have a lot of amazing footage. Alright, so here's the shot. I want to make this tutorial good quality, good color grading. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut off my lights over here. I'm going to be pretty much talking in the dark because the light really affecting how I see things. And let's get started. I'm sitting in the kind of a pitch black right now. And here's our file. Okay, and I want to make it look a little bit more like a blockbuster. So I'm going to use Avengers Endgame sort of as a reference. I'm not going to be, doing completely rip-off, but just a general look base. This is what we're going to do. It's going to look very high-end. So this is our 8K shot. And to make things a little bit better, I'm working in a regular 1080p timeline. There is no need, by the way, to upscale very much. Our color science, IPP2, Dragon Color, Gamma Red Lock Film. So the first thing I'm going to do is to balance the exposure. Actually, no, the first thing I'm going to do is to make it more cinematic just for my own preferences. And what we're going to do, we're going to go into image scaling. And over here, output scaling, I'm going to uncheck match timeline settings. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 1920 by 800 and scale full frame with crop. So if I'm going to move this on the side and click save, boom, we have native widescreen. So that's really cool. Let me uncheck clips so you guys can see a little bit more. See, there we go. Boom, looks great. So first node, let's do a little bit balance, just like that. Okay, perfect. So they're just kissing the bottom. And I'm gonna label this exposure. My second node, I'm gonna label this white balance. Before we start, I want to have white balance dial sort of for our look a little bit, so I know a little bit reference temperature. That helps a lot. Okay, let's go to the temperature. You should be doing this, supposedly it gives you a little better quality if you do it in camera raw. I personally don't notice anything, so I'm just gonna do temperature and tint over here. So I'm gonna cool the shot down a little bit. Okay, let's check really quick before and after, before and after. So we can see already how this changed the whole mood. So that looks cool. Maybe a little warmer, just like that. Alright, that looks great. Next thing I want to do is basically to start dialing my look. There's no colors that kind of bug me at the moment. I think everything in the shot is fine. So this one gonna be look. Okay, just like that. And I'm gonna go into primaries and basically I'm gonna start moving them kinda towards green a little bit. And let's see if the midtones, no, we don't need midtones. I'm just gonna do it with the wheel. Alright, so that kind of looks ridiculous at the moment. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna convert this into layer node. Okay, and with the layer node, This one underneath gonna be skin. Generally, I always suggest doing this kind of stuff in camera, but you know, sometimes you do what you have to do. So with the skin, let's turn on selection, go qualifier over here, and select skin. Okay, let's stretch it out. For the sake of tutorial, that's alright. And basically this is where my thing comes in, that you should not be doing this in color, you should be doing this on set. But it looks alright. So, okay, that looks a little bit awkward. Let's compare it to Avengers. That's obviously not what I wanted. But there's easy fix. So let's go to log over here. And what I'm gonna do, I have my scopes over here, and we can see they're kind of wacky all over the place. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start balancing my blacks, okay, and boom, we can see that blacks more or less balance, and we have a very interesting look going on now. However, my skin still a little bit too saturated, so let me put these guys side by side. Okay, I'm gonna go into skin node, and I simply gonna start decreasing saturation. So something like this. Okay, so now we have this shot looking altered, obviously, from its original state. But we're gonna continue working and improving what we see. So that green, obviously too much. I don't need that much. So what we're gonna do with the gain, I'm gonna start decreasing it. So that looks perfect. Next one. What I want to do is to make it even more darker. So I'm gonna go in a curve. We gain everything. And with the curve, we can decrease it, make it a little bit more cinematic. Okay, not too much. Okay, just like this. Okay, check it out before and after. Look at the big difference we've made. Let me do full screen. Check it out before and after. So that looks like a DSLR shot, and right away over here looks much more expensive. So now what I want to do is to bring more attention to actual characters. So I'm gonna do another node, and by the way, the node operation, even though it's very important, but because I'm doing everything on the fly, sometimes it doesn't matter as long as you get correct result that's going to be clean. So I want to point that out, that even though there's a certain proper way that I'm going to do in a following video maybe, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And in this case, I'm going to do a mask. A very simple mask. Okay, just like this. Nice soft vignette. Okay, let's track it. I have no zoom, I have no rotation, but I have a little bit perspective. Okay, so let's go in the end. Tracking the mask depending on the shot, wherever you place your little slider to begin with, also sometimes very important, and I will also make a video on that. So now we have it. I'm going to invert the mask, and basically in the primary wheels I'm just gonna make everything a little bit darker. Make sure you're not doing too much. Make sure you're only obviously working with the area that matters. And in our case, we made scene a little bit more cozy with that. Now, depending on the movie, depending on the situation, scenario, you may want to add maybe something extra. So something extra, I want to do a very slight glow to the window. I kind of wanted to make it look soft. Okay, let's go to the glow. Okay, just like this. And nothing happens, obviously. I'm gonna start bringing thresholds down. Okay, just like that. And all of a sudden, by doing that, we introduce a completely different vibe into the scene. Now, how strong you're gonna do this, how strong your effect gonna be, you can always control it into gain. You can have it just a little bit to add a little accent, or you can have it a lot to make your room or whatever shot you're working crazy. Now, his skin, let's zoom in, it's still a little bit hot to me. Let's go into my node, and I'm gonna decrease saturation even more. Okay, so something like that. Boom. And here we have it. We have very Hollywood-like color grading within few minutes relatively, and shot looks very expensive and blockbuster-like. Now we can continue adjusting things further on. If we think that he looks a little bit too pale, we can pop a little more color, okay, like that. Or we can even make skin different color if we want, but that's completely different story and different tutorial. So here we have it. Be sure to check him out. Raw film, link in the description below. Make sure to subscribe for more high-end color grading tutorials, and I will see you guys in the following videos.